Did you know that Eleanor, an 83-year-old widow from Florida, found love again after being alone for 12 years? Or that Robert, at 86, met his perfect match at a community center after thinking romance was behind him? What was their secret? It wasn't online dating or speed dating events. It was something much simpler, a morning ritual that transformed not just how others saw them, but how they saw themselves. The truth is, finding companionship in your 80s isn't about looking younger or pretending to be someone you were not. It is about bringing your authentic, vibrant self to the forefront, and that starts the moment you open your eyes each morning. In this video, we are going to explore a powerful morning ritual that has helped countless seniors find meaningful connections, sometimes in as little as 30 days. This isn't about quick fixes or superficial changes. It is about creating a daily practice that builds your confidence, enhances your natural appeal, and opens you to new possibilities. By the end of this video, you will have a step-by-step morning routine that you can start tomorrow, one that could completely transform your dating experience and help you attract a partner who truly appreciates everything you have to offer. Stay with me until the end, because the fifth step in this ritual is something most people overlook, yet it is often the turning point that makes all the difference in finding that special connection you are looking for. If you are finding value in this information already, please comment "Ready" below to let me know you are here and excited to learn more about finding love in your golden years. Now, let us get started with the 5 parts of this transformative morning ritual. Point 1. Mindful gratitude practice. The first part of your morning ritual is perhaps the most powerful, starting your day with mindful gratitude. You might be wondering how feeling thankful could possibly help you find a partner, but the science is clear. Gratitude literally rewires your brain and changes the energy you project to everyone around you. Think about Margaret, an 81-year-old retired teacher who had been widowed for 7 years. She began each day rushing through her routine, often feeling lonely and focusing on what was missing in her life. Her face showed it, slightly downturned at the corners, her eyes rarely lighting up. When she did attend social events, she often sat alone, unconsciously giving off signals that said, "Stay away." Then her granddaughter suggested she try starting each morning by writing down 3 specific things she was grateful for. At first, Margaret was skeptical, but she decided to give it a try. She began with simple things: the bird song outside her window, the comfort of her favorite chair, a phone call from an old friend. Within 2 weeks, something shifted. Margaret noticed she was smiling more even when alone. Her posture improved. When she went to her weekly bridge club, several people commented on how well she looked. One of those people was Arthur, a fellow bridge player who had recently moved to her community. He invited her for coffee, and that conversation led to more. 6 months later, they were inseparable. What happened? Neuroscience shows us that practicing gratitude increases the production of dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good chemicals in your brain. This creates a positive feedback loop that literally changes your facial expressions, your posture, and the way you interact with others. You become naturally more attractive, not because you look different, but because you project warmth, optimism, and openness. Here's how to incorporate this into your morning. 1. Keep a small notebook by your bed. Each morning, before you even get up, write down 3 specific things you are grateful for. Try to find new ones each day. Spend a moment really feeling the gratitude, not just listing items for. If writing is difficult, simply speak your gratitudes aloud or think deeply about them. This simple practice takes less than 5 minutes, but creates a foundation for everything else in your day. It primes your brain to notice the positive, making you more receptive to connections and more attractive to potential partners who are drawn to authentic positivity. Point 2. Physical movement that energizes. The second part of your morning ritual focuses on gentle movement that awakens your body, improves your circulation, and gives you a natural glow that no cosmetic can match. Let me tell you about Frank, an 85-year-old retired accountant who spent most of his days in his apartment, moving very little. When he did go out to senior events, he often felt tired, achy, and uncomfortable in his own skin. His movements were stiff, his energy low, and though he wanted to meet someone, he rarely had the stamina to engage in conversations or activities. After speaking with his doctor, Frank started incorporating just 10 minutes of gentle movement into his morning routine. Nothing strenuous, just stretching, some light chair yoga, and walking in place. He didn't expect much, but within 3 weeks, the changes were remarkable. His circulation improved, giving his skin a healthier color. His posture straightened naturally, as his core muscles strengthened. Most importantly, his energy levels increased dramatically. When he attended a community lunch, he not only stayed for the entire event, but found himself confidently walking across the room to introduce himself to Diane, a woman he noticed but never approached. She later told him it was his vibrant energy and easy smile that caught her attention. You see, physical movement isn't just about health, it is about vitality. And vitality is universally attractive at any age. When you move your body in the morning, you release endorphins that improve your mood, increase blood flow that brightens your complexion, improve posture, making you appear more confident, boost energy levels, allowing you to engage more fully in social situations. Here is how to add energizing movement to your morning ritual. 1. Start with 5 to 10 minutes of gentle stretching. Focus on your neck, shoulders, and lower back. 2. Add simple movements like arm circles, seated leg lifts, or marching in place. 3. If mobility allows, a short walk, even just around your living space, can be incredibly beneficial. 4. Focus on breathing deeply throughout your movement practice. Remember, this is about intense exercise. It is about waking up your body, improving your circulation, and starting your day with physical energy. When you feel good in your body, you naturally project confidence, and confidence is incredibly attractive at any age. If you were still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment movement below to let me know you re-enjoying the content. Your engagement helps us create more videos like this one. 3. Personal presentation with purpose. The third element of your morning ritual involves mindful attention to your appearance, not to look younger or different, but to present your authentic self with intention and care. Consider Edward, an 84-year-old who had been a widower for nearly a decade. His morning routine had become minimal at best. He'd throw on whatever clothes were clean, rarely looked in the mirror, and his personal grooming had become an afterthought. Though he longed for companionship, he'd go to senior center events looking disheveled, giving the impression he didn't have to care about himself or others. His daughter gently suggested that he might approach his appearance with more purpose, not to impress others, but as a form of self-respect. Edward was resistant at first. He didn't want to seem vain or superficial, but he decided to give it a try. He started setting out his clothes the night before, choosing items that fit well and made him feel good. He established a consistent grooming routine, taking time with his shaving, combing his hair, even using a light cologne he'd once enjoyed. He polished his shoes and made sure his glasses were clean. The transformation wasn't just in how he looked, but in how he felt. When Edward caught sight of himself in the mirror, he stood a little straighter. When he walked into his community center's weekly lunch, several people noticed the change. One of those people was Barbara, a woman he'd seen many times but never spoken with. She commented on his nice sweater, which opened the door to conversation. 3 months later, they enjoyed dinner together twice a week. This part of the ritual isn't about vanity. It's about honoring yourself and the people you will encounter during your day. When you take time with your appearance, you send a message. I value myself and I value my interactions with you. Here is how to incorporate purposeful presentation into your morning. 1. Lay out clothes the night before, choosing items that make you feel confident and comfortable. 2. Establish a consistent grooming routine that makes you feel refreshed. 3. Take a moment to look in the mirror, not with criticism, but with kindness and appreciation. 4. Add one element that brings you joy, a favorite scarf, a special pin, comfortable but nice shoes. Remember, this isn't about looking younger or following fashion trends. It's about presenting yourself with intention and self-respect. When you feel good about your appearance, you naturally stand taller, smile more readily, and engage more confidently. All qualities that naturally draw others to you. 4. Curiosity cultivation. The fourth element of your morning ritual focuses on keeping your mind active, engaged, and full of interesting ideas, making you a naturally captivating conversation partner. Let me tell you about Helen, a soft-spoken 82-year-old who often felt invisible at social gatherings. Though intelligent and well-educated, years of living alone had narrowed her interests and limited her conversation topics. When she did meet new people, she found herself talking about the weather or her health problems, hardly the foundation for meaningful connection. Following her therapist's advice, Helen began dedicating 15 minutes each morning to what she called curiosity time. She would read an article about something new, listen to a podcast on an unfamiliar topic, or learn about current events. She kept a small notebook where she jotted down interesting facts or questions that came to mind. The effects were subtle at first, but profound over time. At her next community dinner, when conversation turned to recent local events, Helen had informed thoughts to share. She asked thoughtful questions about others' perspectives. She mentioned an interesting article she'd read about the town's history. People began to seek her out for conversation, drawn to her engaged mind and genuine interest in diverse topics. One of those people was Thomas, a retired professor who was intrigued by her questions about local architecture. What started as an animated discussion about historical buildings led to coffee, museum visits, and eventually a deep connection neither expected to find. Active curiosity keeps your mind sharp, but it does something even more important for dating in your 80s. It makes you interesting. When you continuously engage with new ideas, you have more diverse topics for conversation, ask better questions that show genuine interest in others, project an image of vitality and engagement with life, create natural opportunities for connection based on shared interests. Here is how to add curiosity cultivation to your morning ritual. 1. Dedicate 15 minutes to learning something new or staying informed. 2. Vary your sources: newspapers, magazines, books, podcasts, documentaries. 3. Keep a small notebook to jot down interesting facts or questions. 4. Challenge yourself to learn about topics outside your usual interests. This practice ensures you will never run out of conversation starters and positions you as someone who is engaged with life. A quality that is magnetic at any age, but especially valuable when dating in your later years. If you were still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment "curious" below to let me know you enjoying the content. Your engagement truly helps us create more videos tailored to your interests. Point 5. Intention setting. The fifth and perhaps most overlooked element of this morning ritual is intention setting, a practice that subtly but powerfully shapes your experiences and attracts compatible partners. Consider the story of Ruth, an 86-year-old who had been on several dates but always felt disappointed afterward. She would find herself focusing on what went wrong. The restaurant was too noisy. Her date talked too much about himself. They didn't have enough in common. Each experience reinforced her belief that finding a compatible partner at her age was nearly impossible. Ruth's granddaughter, a therapist, suggested she try setting a daily intention as part of her morning routine. Instead of approaching her day and potential dating opportunities with uncertainty or pessimism, she would consciously choose how she wanted to show up. Skeptical but willing, Ruth began spending a few minutes each morning setting an intention. Some days it was, "Today, I will notice the positive qualities in people I meet." Other days it was, "Today I will share my authentic self without fear of judgment," or simply, "Today I will remain open to unexpected connections." The change wasn't instant, but it was significant. At a community concert when she met Gerald, instead of mentally cataloging all the reasons they might not be compatible, she noticed his kind smile and great listening skills. When he mentioned a hobby she wasn't too familiar with, instead of seeing it as a difference that divided them, she approached it with curiosity. 6 weeks later, they enjoy a comfortable relationship that neither expected to find, not because Gerald is fundamentally different from her previous dates, but because Ruth approached the connection differently. This practice is powerful because our intentions filter our perceptions. When you consciously set an intention to be open, appreciative, or authentic, you literally begin to notice opportunities and qualities that might otherwise go unrecognized. Here is how to incorporate intention setting into your morning ritual. 1. After completing the previous elements of your ritual, sit quietly for a moment. 2. Ask yourself, how do I want to approach my interactions today? 3. Choose a simple intention that feels right for you. 4. Write it down or say it aloud to reinforce its importance. 5. Return to this intention throughout the day, especially before social events. Common intentions that can transform your dating experience include: today, I will approach people with openness rather than judgment. Today, I will look for shared interests rather than differences. Today, I will be fully present in my conversations. Today, I will allow myself to be known authentically. This practice costs nothing and takes only minutes, yet it can completely transform how you experience social interactions and how others experience you. As we reach the end of our discussion about this powerful morning ritual, let us put all 5 elements together. 1. Mindful gratitude practice, to shift your energy and outlook. 2. Physical movement, to energize your body and boost your confidence. 3. Personal presentation with purpose, to honor yourself and others. 4. Curiosity, cultivation, to keep your mind engaged and conversations flowing. 5. Intention setting, to consciously shape your experiences and perceptions. Together, these 5 practices create a foundation for authentic connection that works not by changing who you are, but by bringing your best self forward. This isn't about tricks or manipulation. It is about showing up fully, confidently, and openly in your life. Remember Eleanor and Robert from the beginning of our video. Along with countless others in their 80s and beyond, they discovered that finding companionship wasn't about looking younger or reinventing themselves. It was about establishing daily practices that allowed their natural warmth, wisdom, and uniqueness to shine through. The beauty of this ritual is its simplicity: no expensive products, complicated techniques, or exhausting social strategies. Just 5 mindful practices that, when done consistently, can transform how you feel about yourself and how others respond to you. Will this ritual guarantee you find your perfect match in exactly 30 days? Of course not. Life offers no such guarantees at any age. But what it will do is dramatically increase your chances by making you more confident, engaged, and open to the possibilities around you. Whether you're looking for a romantic partnership, a companionship relationship, or simply more meaningful connections in your life, this morning ritual creates the foundation from which those connections can naturally grow. I encourage you to try this ritual for 30 days, not with desperate expectation, but with genuine curiosity about how it might enhance your life. You have nothing to lose and potentially a wonderful connection to gain. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below sharing which part of this morning ritual resonated with you most, or if you've had success finding companionship in your later years. Your stories and insights inspire our community and help others who are on the same journey. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. Your support helps us continue creating content that celebrates and supports life's later chapters. Until next time, remember that it is never too late for new beginnings, meaningful connections, and the joy of shared companionship.